where, again, they're trying to make sure that the planes are flying, people are on the aircraft, selling tickets, moving people around, because every time that their aircraft has to go down because maybe they improperly planned on how long that engine would run, or there's an issue unforeseen, that means that they're not having passengers on the plane, right? And of course means the bread and butter of their business isn't operating.
Right.
So yeah, that's
So is there instances where like the frame lasts and they replace the engine, they just get new ones? Like,
100%.
so in most times the engine will not live half as long as the plane will live. The frame.
Correct. Yeah. Just think of it just like anything else. The most wear and tear, the most operational
is the
need is the engine,
right?
the most that you put, and it's flying through multiple conditions, especially if you're, a transatlantic or a global carrier.
Sure.
Sometimes you're going into the Middle East and you literally have more sand, in the air.
Right.
Sometimes you're going into the Pacific Northwest, more moisture. Sometimes you're, dry. Sometimes you're cold. Sometimes
That's interesting.
yeah. So
That's
all these
incredible.
different conditions.
I always find it interesting when I talk to different people, finding out little things about, like, remember I met a guy who's rented satellites time, like just learning about all these new, and like most people have no idea about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. So you're doing that. How did you get in that niche?
About 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I worked for a freight forwarder, and then the freight forwarder.
Well, that would lend itself.
Yep.
Okay.
So the freight forwarder, once I got a lot of things under my belt from that standpoint, I basically said, hey, you know what? I think I can do this on my own, And so 3.5 years ago, I was with them for about 4 years, 3.5, 4 years. And actually, there was an interim period where I did work for one other brokerage company for about 9 months to a year. And then I was like, I can do this on my own. So I, better part of 2.5, almost going on 3 years, have done that. And then here in the even shorter time, of course, the recruiting team at the firm was like, hey, looking for people that understand business, because you're going to be talking to people that are operating business,
Right.
And so it just kind of was a beautiful tie where I knew that there was, I'm servicing an industry and relationships that I'm already such a critical component of what is a lot of businesses and companies' critical component, which is their supply chain, right?
Right.
And what happens if I actually work, especially for a guy like Pat, on understanding all these other variables and different aspects of business, where I could then retain and extract that information and deliver it back to already, my existing relationships.